Welcome to Around the Peninsula. I'm Army Sergeant Matt Cromer. The Engagement Skills Trainer, or EST, which is a virtual training simulator, can prove its real worth with proper instruction. Senior Airman Devin Notstein introduces us to a special instructor loaded with enthusiasm.
Pak Chae-young works as an instructor at the Kunsan Engagement Skills Trainer facility. His humor and passion for teaching soldiers how to shoot their weapons only become apparent when they pull the trigger.
I think training or education doesn't need to be too serious. It helps communication between me and the soldier and also makes training more efficient when having fun. So I'm trying to coach soldiers that way more often.
Participants practice zeroing and qualifying using 40 pop-up targets in 3 different positions. As each phase is finished, the results are automatically calculated.
When I was in the Army, I liked shooting and actually was good at it. So it's awesome to have this job.
Senior Airman Devin Notstein, Yongsan, Korea.
Mr. Pak has been instructing for 9 years after leaving the ROK Army as a staff sergeant. Imagine rucking 10 kilometers with over 25 pounds on your back. This is what airmen at Kunsan Air Base recently did to symbolize carrying the mental and physical weight that wounded veterans carry. But for some participants, the personal memories of their fallen comrades is what keeps them going.
On your mark, get set, go!
At Kunsan Air Base Resiliency Day, airmen decided that rucking 10 miles was the perfect way to symbolize support for our wounded veterans' afflictions while honoring their sacrifices. To participants like Tech Sergeant John Osterhout, the act of remembering his wounded brothers is a more painful burden than the actual act of carrying a loaded ruck.
I have a buddy that took his own life, and I will forever regret, not being, as close to him as I was when we were serving in the same squadron. And while I'm fully aware that, I don't bear 100% of that blame, I feel like maybe I could have said something or made another phone call. It affected his wife, who now has to raise their son by herself. It deprived his son, that was 3 years old at the time, a chance to get to know his father, who was an outstanding individual and one of the finer individuals I ever served with.
But like many airmen, he's learned from these experiences and uses them as motivation for future involvement.
And when I return to back stateside, I plan on pardon me, it's a little bit of a, I personally plan on reinvesting in my community, and maybe to a greater extent than I have in the past. Maybe more than just whipping out the debit card and making a donation, maybe going to some events and actually investing more time in that.
He knows that even a little recognition of their struggle will have resounding effects.
Ask your former brother how he's doing. Let him know you were thinking about him, that you care about him, that he's still a war fighter, always will be. Let him know you were thinking about him. I mean, I think if each one of us did that to at least one of our brothers, I think we could maybe make a dent in that 21 a day that take their own life. And that's what I personally will be saying to people I will be calling about the time we're done with this interview.
And that's exactly what he did.
Hey bro, how's it going? Yeah man, I was just calling. I got to thinking about you a lot, man, and I take a lot of pride in your service, Josh. I love you, man. I'm proud of you. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Because picking up a phone to show appreciation is just as proactive as picking up a ruck. Senior Airman Adam Harder, Kunsan Air Base, Korea.
Over 400 airmen took part in the Kunsan Ruck for the Wounded. Participating in a team sport is one way to boost your self-esteem and teamwork. Army Sergeant Breha attends an indoor soccer league that provides an outlet for stress and the opportunity to build teamwork with U.S. and Korea.
Units are working together during the day to prepare for possible emergency situations. However, in the evening, there is one event where service members are moving their feet as fast as they can to become a soccer champion. The USAG Daegu Indoor Intramural Soccer League gives soldiers an opportunity to compete with each other and to enjoy soccer.
I participate because it's something I've done since I was a kid, and I've been playing soccer for about 15 years now. And I just love the competition that comes from it, and it's a good way to have fun and stay physically fit.
Win or lose, participating in a soccer league itself is a valuable experience. The friendly competition will bring a positive atmosphere to their units. During the game, service members build esprit de corps and get to know each other outside the workplace.
Yes, I think it would improve morale and teamwork because you have to work together, you have to communicate. And I mean, that's what we do in the Army, we communicate. Everybody on the team has their role, So that relation corresponds to what you do in the Army. You have a role, you have something that contributes to the overall team, to the overall mission.
Army Sergeant Mark Breha, Camp Walker, Korea.
The Indoor Soccer League will be held at the Kelly Gym every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 in the evening. There are many benefits for being physically active. Army Staff Sergeant Jacob Brayman introduces one group of children trying various outdoor activities.
Chanting and laughter filled the air at Camp Walker's Kelly Field as the Child Development Center teachers and children left the classroom and came out to do some exercise as part of their health and fitness course.
The Strong Beginning Classroom is learning about health and fitness this month, and I thought it would be a great idea for bring the children outside, get them moving, exercise, have fun. So just a fun event for where my families and my children can get together and exercise and just have fun.
Doing exercises they have learned in the classroom, children not only understood the benefits of physical activities, but also had a chance to develop teamwork.
I think that it's a really wonderful opportunity for myself and my children to get out and run around in the grass. Living here in Korea, we really don't get the opportunity much to run around outside. So they've really enjoyed today to be able to come out and run around and burn some energy and learn some healthy exercise.
Army Staff Sergeant Jacob Brayman, Camp Walker, Korea.
More than 40 parents and children came out to do some exercise and fun activities together. What do you get when every note is in sync and each foot is in step? You get a marching band. Senior Airman Devin Nostein introduces us to the man in charge with more than music on his mind.
The Korean Soccer League, known as the K-League, kicks off the season with the 2nd Infantry Division Band marching around the track to get fans excited and ready for the first game of 2015.
Today we got to play for the opening ceremony of the Korean Soccer League, and it's, or as everybody else in the world calls it, the Football League, and it's a wonderful experience as an American in a foreign country to be able to share our culture with another country, and just being able to be shoulder to shoulder, and literally here you are shoulder to shoulder with the local community.
For Chief David, the community involvement and the music almost came to an end, but playing for the Korean locals as a soldier kept his health and his career marching on.
There was a point in my life where, actually it was just 2 years ago, where it's a little real, but I got into a medical, an MEB, because I was diagnosed with diabetes type 2. And I had to really do some soul searching of what I really wanted to do, because my military career could have come to an end. But to be in the military, represent my country, and to play music, because when it looks sharp and when it just sounds so good, you can't replace that.
Senior Airman Devin Nostein, Anyang Sports Complex, Korea.
Chief David has been involved in band since he was in grade school. Having parts of a team spread across the globe increases mission readiness and supply availability. Army Staff Sergeant Jacob Brayman brings us one leader who's traveled halfway around the world to visit parts of her command.
Part of being a leader requires an understanding of how your team and organization are working. Sometimes that means a little bit of travel. The 6th Ordnance Battalion welcomed the Joint Munitions and Lethality Life Cycle Management Command Commanding General Brigadier General Kristen French to their Senior Leaders Summit so she could get a feel for how they were doing in South Korea and to present some well-deserved coins and awards to Ordnance soldiers.
I also have oversight of some support missions here in Korea. I've been in command about 22 months now, and I wanted to come over and see how we're doing our operations here on the peninsula.
It had been quite some time since General French had been to Korea, and she was eager to see what had developed.
So I have not been to Korea in over 10 years. Things definitely have changed after a decade.
Even with all the changes across the peninsula, General French addressed the senior leaders about the basics and how the leaders need to be more adaptable to change.
It's a lot of partnership and a lot of work with the different munitions specialists across our Army.
Army Staff Sergeant Jacob Brayman, Camp Carroll, Korea.
Brigadier General French's visit incorporated all the joint munitions depots across the peninsula. That was your Around the Peninsula for Thursday, April 2nd. From all of us at AFN, enjoy your evening.